I'm called upon to speak here, but just for a few moments. I don't have a lot to say, except to say that what we are doing here tonight is as important indeed as what Jesse is doing. It is not as dangerous as what Jesse is doing, but it is as important because it gathers us together for a cause. When last year, or rather the last time around when Reverend Jackson was running for President of the United States, a lady, the question was, but how can we win? How can we win? And the lady called up on WLIB and she said, and she wasn't a very well-spoken woman, she said, "We be winning when the children see him running for president. We be winning when we register to vote. We be winning because he's there." So here we are on the eve of the primary here in New York. And we're watching a man who has grown quite a bit. I think we can all agree that Jesse Jackson is much, much better. And we all be winning. I'm going to introduce to you a young man that I've known for quite some time, and he is a Jesse Jackson lookalike, and with good reason. But first, I'd like to introduce a young lady whom you will all have seen on television. She is a star of Facts of Life. And we're very pleased to have you here with us tonight, Ms. Kim Fields.
Thank you very much. I have to say I'm very honored and pleased to be with you all this morning, such distinguished guests. I'm here in New York for the campaign and only for the campaign. I was in Michigan for the big one, praise God, for 4 days for the campaign and only for the campaign. And there are many questions that I'm asked as far as when I go on the road for the campaign and the things that I do. One of the first questions is, well, how do you do it all with going to college and working on a show and everything? Well, I'm no longer working on Facts of Life. We finished filming, and I know that most, if not all of you, feel that you've watched me grow up. I hope that you're proud of the woman that you see in front of you right now. I'm in the middle of my second year at Pepperdine University as a telecommunications major. It's not easy, but I do definitely ask for your prayers. I had 2 finals last night. I flew in on a red-eye this morning, well, last night, and got in this morning. Went straight to work with the schools, working with Jonathan Jackson, and we've been running nonstop today. I fly out tomorrow night to take 2 more finals on Thursday and start on a Broadway show on Saturday on tour. So please pray for me. I want to briefly give some reasons on why I am here. I think I am the youngest person and certainly the shortest person in this room. and even though I am the youngest here, my contribution is no greater nor no less than yours. I'm here and I'm a part of this campaign because I believe in what's being done by the people that's doing it. I believe in raising minimum wage. I believe in young people because I am a young person. I believe in the education of young people because I am a young person trying to get an education. I believe in young women having prenatal care for their babies because I'm a young woman and I can understand the pain that they feel and the hard times that they're going through. I'm here because I believe on where Jackson stands on foreign policy. I'm here because I believe in every issue that he's dealing with and that other candidates are either not dealing with or starting to jump on our bandwagon with. I believe in freeing South Africa. I certainly believe in stopping drugs. And I certainly believe in having more jobs. And it's because of all these beliefs that I have that I'm willing to do whatever I can, no matter how exhausting, to make sure that Jesse Jackson gets in the White House in November. I worked with the '84 campaign just very little in California, in Los Angeles, and it was just that very little simply because I was only about 14 years old at the time. So it really wasn't all that, great an effort or that big a deal. But now I'll be 19 next month, and so this is the first time that I can vote. And it really does my heart glad to know that the first time that I'll be able to vote, that I can vote for a black man. Yet I'm old enough to understand that it's much more than being a black man. That he's got what it takes. That he's addressing issues that no one else has. And that he cares like no one else does. And so, like you, I'm here tonight to contribute in any way that I can. My family has been constant supporters of the Jackson family and the Jackson campaign, and will continue to do so. And I hope that you will too. I have had the pleasure isn't the word, and I don't really know what the word is. I have to go back to school on Thursday and find out what the word is. But I've had just the learning experience, the joy, the pleasure, whatever you want to call it, more than anything, the learning experience of campaigning for the Jackson campaign with one of Reverend's sons who is just incredible, is a good word. It really is. I mean, you can say that he looks like Reverend because he's his son, he sounds like Reverend, but he's got things that are his own, that he has developed. As far as his skill of being a wonderful orator, I watched older men today at colleges, faculty and teachers and board members of colleges that sat there in absolute amazement in listening to a 22-year-old young man speak on his father's behalf. And so it is without further ado that I get off of this poor man's piano bench. And it is my absolute honor to bring to you Jonathan Jackson.
In order to reach out, they are all coming around a common theme. Our message is clear. We say stop drugs, stop easy access to handguns. We challenge Americans to keep their families together, young men to raise their children, young ladies not to give up hope, to fight for their comparable worth, their pay equity. Indeed, know that our strength is in coalition. On behalf of my father, I would like to personally thank Mr. Gold, Mr. Tate, Mr. Richards, and Mr. Sutton, also from my mother, Mr. Sutton. This is her good friend, Sutton. As we have traveled, trying to keep America strong, to make America better, we know that in order for America to remain strong, it must get better. It must accept leadership from whichever ranks that it comes. When the lights go out, you cannot use race, color, sex, religion as a crutch. We all look amazingly similar in the dark. We have made it clear that we offer America bold leadership, a new direction. We say that we do not want to manage or massage Reaganomics. We want to fundamentally change it. We indeed want to continue to aspire and lift the achievements and aspirations of the youth. As I was in the Bronx today, and to see the young men and young women come alive, seeing Jesse Jackson on the stage, they see themselves. They see America in a better light. They see that although his funds were short, his message and principles were tall. and that he represents them well. Young man, just as I left City College a few moments ago, asked me, what was my political future? I said, I don't go into politics. I am more ethical than political, and that's what the thrust of this campaign is. We have bold leadership, a new direction. We don't wish to follow opinion polls. We mold opinion. As we leave from here, we go on to Columbia College. My father's at the debate, on to another event this evening. Since January 1st, I've done over 300 formal addresses in high schools and colleges. We said that it was a poor campaign with a rich message. Message so rich that people are taking it, and it's to be shared, because it has to deal with values. That's what we're talking about. As we talk about remaking this moral fabric in this nation, what other candidate has a clear clarion call, unequivocally says, free South Africa? As I think of Attorney Meese going to Central America, it's a step in the right direction, but it wasn't Mr. Reagan, it wasn't Schultz, it wasn't Bush, it was Attorney General Meese. I am made to wonder which one of these men will be persecuted first, Noriega or Mr. Meese. That we must be serious about drugs and stopping handguns and stopping our jobs from leaving this country and rebuilding each one of these boroughs. And let us determine our strength from the inside out and have a foreign policy that's not foreign to our values. As we leave here, be inspired. Know that we're winning. As we look at Mr. Simon in Illinois, he has suspended his campaign. You might not have never heard of that term used in a campaign. I think you're in or you're out, but he's suspended. So. And after we get the at-large delegates out of Illinois, we will be leading in popular votes and delegate votes for this nomination. 7 days left to go. A charge to keep, work to be done. As we sit here, sitting high, looking low, as we leave here, going down, back to the streets, let us be mindful of where our expectations and where our hopes are. But when we touch the ground, let us know that that's where the work has to be done. While others would want to emphasize the Rockefeller, we put emphasis on the little fellas. Those that are homeless, those that cannot get health care, those that are dying in New York City tonight with AIDS. Someone must show compassion. That is what we have done. Let you be determined. Let you leave from here as a light, beacon of hope, knowing that Jackson is on your side. And as we go to these banquet halls, and are marveled to see that all the people in the kitchen and all the janitors and everyone comes running out to the doors and they applaud behind the stage and in the kitchen, and they're all full of glee because they know as well as you that when Jesse Jackson wins, every person in America will have a friend in the White House.
We can agree that Jonathan Jackson is not too far off the ship. That Jonathan and company have to go up to, Columbia for the debate, but I would like you to understand that this is a fundraiser. And we all know that, of course. And what I'd like to do is, I know you've already dug into your pockets to make a contribution, but what I'd like to do is ask you to give a little bit more. I'd like each of you to go into your pockets and take out, if you have your checkbook, let me see, I want to see everybody. And I'd like you to reach in and take a little bit more out. I think that we can make arrangements for people to pick up the money. Fellas, all right. Now let's get at it right now. Come on, let's get into the pocket and take out some money, some cash out of the pocket, and we'll get some money together. Let's just raise some, let's get $20 out of your pocket right now. $20. Let's go, let's get it up. Just think about where you are right now. Here we are at the penthouse of Central Park West, looking at the view. Why don't you pay $20 just for the view? Alright, come on, let's get out there, let's get the money. Campaigns do not run on air.